Welcome back to Layden's Hollow. Today I thought I'd take you guys along to show you how I'm going to prune some of my new vines on my blackberry bushes. And I got to pick some blackberries because they're starting to get ripe, and if you let them stay on the vines too long, once they're ripe they'll just all start to fall off and get way too soft. I'll take you guys along and I hope you enjoy the video. There's lots of blackberries in here right now. There's more in here than I thought there was. But you can't really see much on the outside of the fence. But once you get into the thick of things, there's lots. Now you notice, I don't know if you guys can see that in camera, but I do have my chainsaw pants on because these are thorny blackberries. Now I planted these. I had two small plants with roots that somebody gave me 4 years ago. I planted them in here. I didn't do much with them. I don't really water them in the summertime. I didn't do much. Last year I pruned them down a bit more, and I think that's why I'm getting way more blackberries this year. And this year I'm going to prune them down, like I said a few minutes ago. I'm going to prune them down quite a bit this year so that I can propagate some. Now the main reason I'm doing that is because I want to be able to, I'm going to use them as a hedgerow up at the end of my property. The reason I like these for a hedgerow is because not even many animals will try and go through blackberry bush, especially this type. There's thorns on here that are 1 inch big, and you got to dress up for battle when you want to pick these blackberries. But they produce tons and tons of blackberries, and they're really tasty. Now the ones that I'm picking today is just a very minute amount of blackberries. There'll be a lot more, I'd say, within the next week or so. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to prune that one off. And I'll show you guys exactly how I'm doing this. Now this one already has a second branch coming out off of this leaf. There's a second branch there. And there's a leaf here. There's a little tiny node right there. So I'm going to snip this off just above it. Ow. That way it'll shoot out another branch next year, because these blackberries only produce berries on new growth. The old growth that's there now, I will get rid of next year. Look, you can see these massive thorns that are in there. So yeah, they make great edge rows. See, there's a pile of blackberries right there. Not sure how well you guys can see them or not, but you can see there's lots down there. Black and white butterflies. I'm not sure why, but they tend to really like the blackberries. Get out of here, you buggers. Yeah, these are really ripe. They're actually almost ready to fall off the... Now I have 2 blackberry patches. I have one up here, and I have one down by my greenhouse as well. Yeah, like all the plants that have berries on them this year are going to be being cut out because they won't produce next year, and they'll just die off over the winter. So like this one I missed last year, which I should have had done, but I guess I missed it. This is one of the old branches from last year that was in amongst all the brush in there. And they don't produce berries the second year around, and they just die. And they just make a mess. So, there's another big branch in here that's got to come down. There we go, much better. Now I'm saving these branches because, like I said, I'm going to be putting them in pots today. The one good thing with the blackberries is, with these anyway, is that where the berries are, there's no thorns. The thorns are usually on the main stalk. Now I like these blackberry bushes for the exact opposite reason that everybody dislikes them. I like them because they spread really fast. I like that because when I planted these here, I planted them knowing that. And because there's a stream on the backside of my bush, blackberry bush down there, there's a small stream, and in the spring of the year when the snow is melting, we get some pretty high waters and it rushes down. It was actually starting to wash out the banks. So the main reason I planted this here is so that the root system would hold the soil in place and stop the erosion of the banks, and it worked really well. Look at that thing. I gotta be careful too because there's an electric fence right there. Alright, well now I'm going to take you guys along and show you how I propagate my blackberries, because I want to use them up, like I said, to do an edge roll along the front part of my property. So what I'm doing now is I'm getting ready to put them in some root powder. Now, you see there's like these little nodes that are here? Those are the ones that will create root. So I got to bury them down to about that depth in the soil. Now I got my soil here. So this is a root powder that I've been using for a while. But once you water it in, make sure you get all of the powder around those little nodes that are in that's on the root. And that's pretty much it. That's what you do to do it. So, but now the more of those little nodes you can get into the soil, the better, because the more roots that they'll make. So I always try to get at least 2 in there if possible. Now being a homesteader, you're a bit of a prepper as well. I know I am. We always prepare for the worst and hope for the best. You know, the way the world has been in the last 6 months or so, I don't know how quick things are going to get better. I always prepare. Security is pretty high on my priority at my homestead as well. Now, I'm not crazy. I'm not no doomsday prepper by any stretch of the imagination. I just believe in being prepared for the worst and hoping for the best. Like, I'm pretty self-sufficient. You know, I grow all my own food, or at least 99% of my own food. My security is always very important to me here on the farm. Well, I have my dogs. They know their job. They do not let anybody on this property that's not supposed to be on this property. It's amazing. And I didn't even have to train them to do that. Now, the reason I'm doing the blackberries is because I want to put them up at the front of my property, which is up by the main road that runs down the front of my property. Right now, there's an electric fence up there, but that really wouldn't stop anybody from coming in. It would a little bit, I guess, but not really. If you put these blackberry bushes along the front of your property, let them grow about maybe 3 or 4 thick, because they'll just keep expanding every year. I mean, I started out with, like I said, only 2 little a few years ago, and now I've got so many. But yeah, the main reason I would use blackberry bushes for security is because of the thorns that's on these guys. I guarantee you, nobody is coming through them, not unless they're using a machine to come through them. You ain't going to be just walking through them. These things are nasty. And the blackberry bushes with all these thorns on them are really good at keeping animals at bay as well. You know, the 4-legged animals and the 2-legged animals. So what I'm actually doing is, you can see this, right? This is the bottom of the plant. So I'm going to snip that off right there. Now I'm going to take that leaf off, but there's still a node there. Same with this one. And there's one here. So I'm going to snip that leaf off. Because I don't want them putting all of their energy into a leaf right now. Into the leaves that are there. I want them putting their energy into the root. So you always cut all the leaves off. Now I usually get a pretty good rating when it comes to this. I'd say around 75 to 80% ends up rooting. The new blackberry shoots this year, berries next year. They won't produce berries this year. Now the other thing is that I do push the soil down snug around the plant, because I don't want any air gaps down there. If there's air down there, it could actually kill the root system. Yeah, that's how many I did today. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe consider subscribing, smash that like button, comment, let me know what you thought of the video. If you have any suggestions on how I could actually get this to even work better, that would be greatly appreciated. Stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for watching.